All right. So we've got our first bit of fan mail sent
Hey,
in.
you got to do the introduction.
Do we have an introduction?
Yeah. Hello, this is the Collectania of Everything, or something along those lines.
Is that our intro?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
This is the Collectania. Hello,
We
man.
do some introduction. I can't remember what it was.
Hey there, folks. You're listening to the Collectania of Everything with
That's
your
it.
hosts,
That's
Hamish
the one.
Skelton and Jaysha Drake. We got our first bit of fan mail. Ever
Yeah.
sent in to collectaniaofeverything@gmail.com. It was from Amelia Freya. Thank you so much for getting in touch with us, Amelia. And we're sorry to hear you're not doing so well. She says she's not in great condition.
I shouldn't be laughing.
And well, this is serious. She's not in great condition, critical health condition actually. And she's suffering, and she wants us to inherit $11 million
Oh, yeah.
left to her from her late husband.
Yeah.
And she wants to go to good, honest, God-fearing people. She thought about charities, but she wants to give it to us. So thank you, Amelia.
She wants to give it to us to give to charities. That's what she said.
Oh, is that what she wants?
Yeah.
She wants to promote the word of God and the effort of the house of God is maintained. She does not want a situation where the money will be used in an ungodly manner. I think she just wants to give it to us.
No, she said about that. Yeah, there we go.
Person to claim it for charity, orphanages, widows, and building schools.
There you go.
So this is like, hey, take this money, but you have to sort it all out for me.
Yeah.
Well, we'll think about taking your 11 million, Amelia.
Where do you think she comes from, though? 'Cause,
I don't know.
She,
Listener of the podcast, though, surely.
obviously. Just, I noticed some pretty bad grammar in there. I'm wondering if she might, maybe she comes from, I don't know. I'm guessing not Britain or anything like that. I would say it's probably English as a second
Not
language.
Britain, because that's the people in Britain are very good with their grammar, so.
Well,
British in their grammar, eh?
no, I mean or the US or Canada or something. So
Yeah,
some
so she
place
must be
where she's probably knows a bit of English, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Might
it's
be a
coming-
first
yeah.
language, yeah. But thanks, Amelia. We'll
Oh,
get in
yeah.
touch about that 11 million. And thank you for thinking of us this highly and thinking of the podcast this highly. We appreciate it. Any more fan mail you guys got or things you want, money you want to give us? We're here for it. Let's do a drink check. What are we drinking?
I'm drinking Dilmah tea, just the same as last time, I think. Only without
Dilma.
milk. Someone ran out of milk.
Nice. Someone ran out of milk. They'll be unnamed.
And whatever this is, some concoction you threw together.
Yeah, a bit of peach cordial, in some Sprite.
Yep.
Quite a nice little drink. I made it for you and gave it to you and didn't tell you what it was, so you could have drunk it anything. You drank it.
I'm
You
still
trust
drinking
me.
it.
There you go. Yeah, maybe it's not peach cordial. But yeah, thank you for listening to us this episode, guys. It's hasn't been too long. I think it's been a week and a half since we last recorded. Pretty good schedule-wise. Have you been up to much this last week?
This last week? Well, not really, actually. When I think about things to include into the podcast, I haven't really watched anything good this week. I think I'm still playing the same games as I was playing last week. So there's no new game updates.
I jumped in with you, and we both played a little bit of Outriders.
Did I talk about that last game? I think
You
I
talked
did.
about it a little bit last episode, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's still, still going strong at the moment.
I enjoyed
You're
it.
trying to convince me to play another game.
Yeah, it's my bad this time. But the game came out, Hood, which I've been playing with a couple of my other friends, and good old Robin Hood and his merry men breaking into places, and fun multiplayer game I've been playing. But Outriders was good. I enjoyed it. We've got to keep playing it.
Yeah, I think that's about
I'm
it.
still playing a little bit of Monster Hunter. Not too
Yeah,
much.
I'm playing a bit of
yeah, there you go.
Monster Hunter. Yeah.
In terms of what I've watched this week, I actually watched a little bit. I rewatched Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Yep.
And I remember not liking them too much the first couple of times I watched them, but this time I loved them. I don't know what's changed.
Correction, you loved them the first times as well.
Yeah, I guess I've always had a soft spot for them. But Alien Covenant I wasn't too impressed with when we left the movie theatre. We both watched it in IMAX.
I was like the one ranting on about how bad it was, and you were the one trying to defend it.
Yeah, well, it's defendable. It's a good movie, but this time I loved it. Like, it might be up there with the original for me, and I don't know why. Just the whole like, I don't know, it's so massive and big and grand, and it's got all these great horror elements and characters, and the sci-fi world's amazing, and it's got this like struggle with this robot wanting to become a creator when he's the one who's been created, and it's just...
And it's riddled with cheap jumps. Cheap jump scares, that's my issue. One of my issues. One of my many issues.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe I've just...
No, let's not use this.
This is an Alien Covenant episode, guys.
To poo-poo Alien Covenant.
I watched like the 10 short films released with Alien Covenant that like set up the characters and...
Was it? What?
There's like 10 short films about them talking before they go into hypersleep, and you meet the captain played by James Franco, who, spoiler alert, dies like in the opening act of the proper movie.
Spoiler alert, most of them die.
Yeah, I mean, it's an alien movie, what do you expect? But yeah, so I watched all those, and other thing I watched was Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger for the first time, and that was great. Have you seen it?
Wait, what's it about? I feel like I would have watched it. I'm just trying to remember what it's about.
Sci-fi. Arnold Schwarzenegger lives on Earth, wants to move to Mars, hates his life, hates his job, and then goes to a company that implant memories to get memories implanted of a different life. And he wants memories implanted for him to think he's like acted out. Memories implanted to make him think that he's a secret agent on the run, working on Mars. And then his reality and what's memory and what's not real and what is all gets blurred. But it's really good.
Who's playing?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Who?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold. I thought you might be saying someone else, because I've watched a movie very similar to that, and I thought it had the same name.
There's a remake.
Yeah, okay, I watched the remake.
I don't think Mars has anything to do with it.
Nah, because that's the one part I can't remember.
Farrell?
Having Arnold in it, I can't remember that, and I don't remember anything to do with
planets,
Mars.
Yeah.
So...
But that was good. I enjoyed that. Other thing I watched this week, and is what we were kind of going to talk about this episode. This is the Studio Ghibli episode, or however you say it.
This is one of many, probably.
That's it. We're going to do heaps of things.
Well, I didn't prepare because it kind of it felt like it got sprung on me a little bit, even though I had like a week and a half.
We finished last episode saying we we're going to talk about when Marnie was there, which we've been teasing since the beginning.
It just sort of sprung on me, and I wanted to have more preparation for it. But yeah, I just haven't been very organised.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, I forced myself to watch it late at night because I didn't have too much time. But yeah, we thought we'd talk about when Marnie was there, Studio Ghibli film, and perhaps talk about some of the other ones we've seen, other ones we've liked or would recommend. We've probably already done a bit of this, but
to be honest, I'd recommend pretty much all of them.
And you're nearly finished all of them now, right? You and Abby have been watching through them.
I think we've got a small handful left to go. Like,
have you seen Porco Rosso yet?
No, not yet.
That's the one I've been wanting about, the flying pig.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch that one now.
That's our next episode.
Now that you've watched one of the movies I've recommended to you.
No, rewatch Alien Covenant. That's my recommendation. But yeah, so you watched it
9 weeks ago.
9 weeks ago.
Roughly.
And I said that I was going to watch it that very week when you told me about it, but 9 weeks later, here we are. I just watched it. And I really enjoyed it. It's kind of about... do you want to talk about it?
Well, you've watched it more recently. I love the movie. I'm still reading through the book.
You loving that too?
Yeah, I'm loving that too, yeah. But it's not as fresh in my memory as probably is for yours.
I guess I'll try. It's a really cool story. It's about this young girl who has bad asthma, I think it is, and she's recommended by her doctors that she moves away to a countryside to live with some family friends or extended family, to kind of, I don't know, be in the nicer air, take some time off school, and just focus on healing. And she's kind of antisocial. She keeps to herself, kind of a creative type. And then she meets another young girl who lives in this massive mansion across the lake in the countryside that she's moved to, and becomes very, very close to her, very good friends. And her name is Marnie. And who I'll check who the main character's name was. Was it Anna?
Yeah.
Anna and Marnie. So yeah, she meets Arnie. She meets Arnie Schwarzenegger. She meets Marnie, and on Mars. No, she meets Marnie on the mansion, and they get really close. They become great friends, and I guess she kind of becomes obsessed with Marnie and starts thinking about her all the time, drawing her. And then she figures out, she kind of starts to realize that things with Marnie are like, sometimes she's there, sometimes she isn't. People are saying the house is abandoned, but she sees people there. And Marnie might not be as real as she thinks that she is. I think that's pretty much it.
It's interesting hearing that though, because I'm reading through the book. I haven't finished it yet, so I haven't got like as much insight as I probably ought to, but it is interesting because there's a few differences, obviously, as there always is, between the cinematic
adaptation, from the original material
to the actual book. Some of the other differences, I don't think in the book I don't remember them mentioning any kind of asthma or anything.
It was definitely asthma, and
but I don't think that it is in the book. It's just a small difference. I think it's just to do with the reason why she goes to the country.
There's still some kind of illness, or
no? I think it's mainly. I might have. Actually, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I think it's mainly just as an outing for her, sort of thing. Like
it's like she's just going away
her
for
parents
the summer or something.
thought that this would be a good idea for her to go and like just go out into the country, and it would be a good experience for her because she is a little bit weird and antisocial.
Doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, but I might be wrong on that. Actually, there might be a better reason, but my memory's telling me they didn't really touch on that too much in the book. They didn't emphasize too much on the exact reason, but it could be something to do with health as well.
Yeah,
from memory. Yeah. So, but the main thing I was gonna bring up was that I think it is in the movie as well, but in the book, a lot of the emphasis is actually on the mansion itself. She falls in love with the mansion
instead of this character of Marnie.
Yeah, but that the mansion was like no one lives there, and she's more like fantasizing about it, what it could be, or what she can imagine it being like, or whatever. And then she starts thinking she's seeing people in it, and the main one is a little girl who is about her age, with long blonde hair and stuff. So that's where I'm up to in the book. It's like when she's just starting to see her.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it makes sense that it's more emphasis on the house as well, because I guess the whole thing is when Marnie was there, and I'm guessing the there is that house.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it is a pretty interesting. I feel like it could have easily gone down like a creepy horror path.
I kind of wish it did a little bit more.
I was, but
it's like she starts seeing these people and she's okay with it, but it would have been cool if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing is that she's also the stuff that they touch on in the book is that she doesn't want really to have friends. It seems like she's worried that as soon as it's difficult. It's just from what I've read so far, it seems like she's more interested in like the better relationship she has is when she's basically or people are more interesting when she isn't interacting with them, and she's able to, and they don't know much about her, and she doesn't know everything about them.
Yeah,
and she's able to sort of pretend a little bit. Is kind of what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, and I got the same thing, because when she moves to this countryside, I guess a couple of her friendships is one, she draws, and one friendship she has is she meets this painter, and I think all they do is just sit next to each other and paint things, and they form quite a close friendship that she loves.
And the boat guy who doesn't talk.
Oh, yeah, and the guy on the boat.
I can't remember his name.
That doesn't talk but brings her back and forth to the mansion.
Yeah.
And I guess you see when she meets other girls in this new place, her age, that start wanting to hang out with her all the time and kind of asking her questions and want to just be there. She doesn't like it, and that's when she starts freaking out a little bit.
Yeah, she gets kind of aggressive almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And starts being kind of verbally abusive.
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah, I think it's just because she. Yeah, it kind of just seems like she's more. Well, she feels that as soon as she knows someone or figures out things about them, that it's going to ruin basically that whatever she thought was happening there, like whatever friendship she thought was going on. So I think that's why this big thing with Marnie, why she is probably starts to obsess as well about the fact that sort of relates. That carries on to when she's sorry, there's neighbours, right?
Yeah, there's a bit of noise, background noise. Sorry, guys.
When she starts fantasizing about like the house and who could have been there and stuff like that, that's sort of shown a bit there how she likes to sort of make up stories about things or imagine what things are actually like without actually knowing full well herself. And I think that's probably why she starts obsessing a lot as well with Marnie, because it's this girl that she's interacting with, but there's still so much mystery there, and she doesn't really she's living in this abandoned mansion, but sometimes it's not abandoned, sometimes it is abandoned, and sometimes and in the movie she'll be there with Marnie hanging out with her,
Marnie will be rowing her back and forth to the mansion and back.
Yeah, and then suddenly she's not there.
And she's been rowing herself,
Yeah, and so I think that's probably why it's why that friendship is sort of very important to her, I guess, or why it sort of was more interesting to her and why she pursued it more, was because there's that sort of that sort of level of not really knowing who this person is.
Yeah, the kind of mystery.
Yeah,
the mystery surrounding it. That's real cool. That's a cool way to put it.
That's I don't know. That's just sort of my interpretation of it. But I mean, I could be. I watched it 9 weeks ago, so probably should really rewatch it again and finish the book before I fully, dive into theories about it. But yeah, I really liked it. It's probably within like my top 3 Studio Ghibli movies.
I think it might be one of my favorites I've seen as well. I mean, I've only seen I think 5.
How many are there? There's like 20, isn't there?
Something like that. And there's a few different directors that do the different ones.
Yeah.
But I've watched Spirited Away. That's probably my favorite. And then probably this, when Marnie was there. I've also seen Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Ponyo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked it. I didn't know if I would. You recommended me this, and I'm glad I did. It was a really kind of beautiful film.
Yeah. It's extremely slow paced though, especially at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it's this whole slow unraveling of the mystery, and we won't. It's hard not to talk about it without mentioning the ending, because the whole wrap up's very, very interesting and kind of like a pivotal point of the story.
I'm very emotional at the end.
Yeah, and
I'd say I came quite close to crying. I think, or at least shedding a tear.
I did. Yeah, I don't
cry
know what's
easily,
happening lately, dude. It's just like I don't know what's happening. It's as soon as something like. I don't know.
Scene with her stepmom?
Crazy.
No, not stepmom, her mother-in-law.
Yeah, that got me.
Right at the end. Yeah, I was like, that was my favourite bit. I think from it. It's just
her stepmom.
It's a complicated movie, I think, with the emotional side of it.
Yeah.
It's difficult to sort of. I think that's kind of why I say that's my theory for the movies, because it is a difficult thing for you to go through, and I feel like. I do kind of feel like it's easy to just look through with your own kind of lens and just sort of slap a real easy and like, this is what it's about.
This is trying to mean this, or trying to be a metaphor for what this could be. But
or this, that, and the other thing. And I think the thing is that I don't know. I feel like you can take whatever you want from the movie, to be honest, when you're watching it. But overall,
that's what they're for, really.
I don't know. I feel like, to be honest, I kind of feel a little bit, and probably might not just agree with me on this, but this is, to my experience, that this is a lot of kids sort of like there's a little bit of her personality in a lot of kids, I think. Yeah. I feel like I could relate to that as a kid when I was a kid.
Totally.
A bit. Not with the experience and stuff like that, but rather with the I don't know, I guess the kind of overall attitude and the feeling of like, because she didn't feel like she fit in very well, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. But also the whole thing of like wanting to have like an actual meaningful like friendship, and wanting to have like that sort of that mystical, magical place you go to as a kid and stuff. And it's like I think there's a lot of kids who can relate to that, and it's not really necessarily anything super deep or super like metaphor for anything. I think it is really, to me, it kind of feels more. It's just like it's just a kid's fantasy basically. They want to have a weird mystical friend and a weird mystical mansion somewhere.
Exactly.
And they might not all look the same, but I feel like that's kind of a lot of kids would that as growing up.
I think you're right.
And I think the thing is that she in particular was going through some stuff, and then this is a story about how that and her own history and stuff, which gets into spoilers, sort of basically it just sort of helps her get through a lot of her situations and stuff. It helps her to readjust and refocus on her life and what really matters, I guess. And that's where the emotional part comes in at the end, when she sort of, because she's very cold to pretty much everyone in her life,
even her own stepmom.
And and it's just like right at the very end when she realizes what's important, and she, I don't know, is that a spoiler when she?
I'm tearing up. No, no.
When she finally, because they make a point throughout the book and through the movie of the fact that she doesn't call her stepmom mum, she calls her by her name or a nickname or something. And it's like right at the very end when she just casually refers to someone, introducing someone, and she says, "This is my mum," introducing it, and right at the end is like I think it's that lady who was painting. And it was just like, you could see like the reaction on her stepmom's face afterwards, because that was like what she was wanting been wanting forever. And it was such an emotional scene.
And I wrote this in my Letterboxd review after watching it. You're right. It's just the way that the whole film manages to, I guess, portray the themes of loneliness, abandonment, forgiveness, and friendship, and things like that, all in this really profound way. It's really cool. It actually got these really heavy themes that a lot of people can relate to. And it just tells us through this whimsical story. It was cool. I loved it.
Are you wanting to read out your review? Or?
That's pretty much what I said. That's pretty much what I said. And I guess the only other thing I said was I don't know how you're going to think about this, but I did feel that the actual wrap-up piece that we're not going to spoil was a little bit rushed and a little bit like... Okay. I kind of saw it coming.
Like the reveal, or you kind of saw that coming.
Yeah,
I think, to be honest,
from little like context clues and things you see throughout the film.
Yeah,
but it's hard not to go into it because we don't want to. You guys probably haven't seen this, so we don't want to spoil it. But we want to kind of
say, like, from this point on, if you don't want to listen anymore, this is spoilers or something, and then you could just like tune out from this point if you wanted to, or should we just leave it? Or not?
I reckon let's leave it.
Okay.
Let's leave it. We can come back to it.
I do understand. I think I understand what you're meaning.
We want to recommend it to you guys. We really want you guys. I reckon you should check it out because I loved it.
I think the whole way through the movie, you're trying to figure out exactly who Marnie is what the mansion is. And I don't think I guessed it by the end. I think I was a little bit surprised about it, but I did have... I think I had a couple of theories, and I think it was possibly one of them. It was 9 weeks ago.
We'll give it some slack.
I wasn't disappointed by it, but I do think you could probably quite easily predict what exactly is going on.
And I don't know if it hit that hard for me. Like, the point that got me was more like her relationship with her mum than this whole other thing, which by the end I didn't really care about as much.
I think that's the point of it, though.
Is
the journey to that is basically, after this point, she's not... Like, I don't think this is going to continue. The whole point of the story. I think it's that she's... From this point on, she can relate better and understand...
She kind of had this adventure that helped her through all these things.
And helped her, like, mature emotionally, I guess.
Yeah.
And... like, hopefully now she's happier with her situation, and she also knows more. It's hard to talk about it. Is anything I could say it could spoil it. It's like, I do think that's possibly the most important part of the whole movie is right at the end when she talks to her mother-in-law.
Totally.
Mother-in-law? Stepmom? What do you call it? Stepmom. I've been saying mother-in-law.
No, it's not a mother-in-law.
No, it's not stepmom. No, it's not even stepmom. Stepmom is...
Oh, flip. It's her... it's her... what do you call it? If she was adopted.
Yeah. So
Or not adopted.
Foster mum?
Foster mum. I don't know.
Foster
Her
mum.
mum. Yeah. Not a
I don't
not
know.
a biological
Is it foster?
mum.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not. I was thinking, okay, it's by law, legally, she's her mum. So that's why I was saying mother-in-law. It's not her mother-in-law. She's
It's
not
not a
married.
stepmom. It's just her caregiver.
It's not her stepmom, but that's closer to mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Than mother-in-law. Yeah, so it's basically, I think they referred to her as her foster mum.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you watch this in English or in Japanese?
I watched it in English.
I watched it in Japanese with subtitles.
Really?
I've never done it with a Ghibli film before, but I was just like, hey,
Yeah.
it's made in Japanese. I have watched them before, and some of the mouthing has been a bit strange.
Yeah, it does ruin the if you watch it in English dubbed.
Yeah.
It's always better to watch it in
I really
Japanese.
loved it
It's just
in
I'm
Japanese.
too slow reading.
Yeah.
It's like I find it's hard to like relax and enjoy the movie if I'm constantly having to read.
Catch up. Yeah, I love watching in Japanese. It was great. It was a really cool experience. But then I looked on afterwards on like the cast list to see who was the voices, and I saw the main people were like Haley Steinfeld and like Laura Bailey and Ashley Johnson from Critical Role, and I was like, wait, what? But I realised it was the English cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was real cool. And yeah, I loved it. There was a few things I didn't really enjoy. Again, I felt the ending didn't hit me as hard as it could have, and just little things like she'd go out at night to go to this mansion, and she'd like get lost or come back late, and then the people looking after her, her extended family, kind of like welcome her in, and then straight the next night let her out late again to nearly get sick and get lost in the trails. And it was
I think that's something that
a bit dumb.
They show a bit better in. Well, I think the thing is that I have a suspicion anyway. Again, this is difficult because I haven't got all the information because I haven't finished it all.
Yeah.
But I think that in the book she's possibly a bit younger than she is in the movie.
Oh,
Possibly. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure. She seems a little bit more younger. But in the book, they sort of portray those people that are looking after her. I can't remember
They're
their
my
names.
favourite characters in the movie. They were great.
But I think they sort of portray them as a little bit more, not rough, but like very much like country. Sort of
kind of like disconnected from whatever she's doing, or
no, they're like very nice people.
Yeah,
it's just more that they could sort of come across as kind of a bit more lax and a little bit, you know. But I guess they might. I think they show that a little bit, possibly in the movie as well.
Yeah,
But
it wasn't that. It was just a few things like that, and a few things like she starts to discover that Marnie's possibly just in her head.
Yeah.
But then she keeps like getting very sad and angry at Marnie for not being there or leaving her, even though it's kind of like in her head. But again, it all just comes back to this is her kind of like,
and I think
dealing with everything through this.
Yeah.
You guys need to watch it. Give it a watch. Let us know what you think.
The first like 3/4 of the movie is extremely slow.
Yeah, it is very slow, but it's very contemplative, and it's stuck with me like this whole week. I've been thinking about it.
That's what I find a lot of Studio Ghibli movies do for me.
Yeah,
though.
just
when
the
I
way
watch
that
them,
they
I'm
can-
just like not all of them. Like I feel like the ones that your favorite ones are probably like I know Spirited Away is weird.
That's just a weird ass
But
adventure movie. And
I think there's I don't know. I feel like there's probably there's probably like big explanations for it on YouTube and stuff.
What
but,
is your favorite one that you've watched so far?
It's hard to tell because I'm trying to remember them all because I've been watching them over the course of like it's probably been like a year now. Slowly, been watching like one every few weeks or so.
Yeah,
once a month maybe even.
Because you're on Netflix. It's good.
Yeah, I do know that When Marnie Was There is in my top, but I'm not sure if it's my favorite. I know that is it Wind Rises?
When the Wind Rises? The Wind Rises.
The Wind Rises.
Something like that. Yeah, I've heard that's good.
That's I watched that one. I've watched that one years ago. I haven't shown Abby that one yet, but that is one of my favorites. But that one's a little bit more like a historical drama rather. And that one's interesting. It's meant to be. I think it's fictional. But I think some of the stuff in it, like a lot of the stuff in it, is real. It's set in World War II.
Yeah.
So, and it's about the guy who designed the Zero airplane in Japan. But
that's right. Yeah, I think we mentioned that.
Yeah. So I feel like the story is probably true. So at least some of it about him. But they would have obviously sort of added in a bunch of stuff. You know, made it more interesting. But that is one of my favorites as well.
Have you seen Grave of the Fireflies? Is that a Studio Ghibli movie?
Firefly. I don't think I have yet.
It's I don't know if it's.
Oh,
on,
wait a minute.
It might be the only one that's not on Netflix or something. But I think that's one of the most top-rated ones that everyone loves. It's been one I've been meaning to watch.
I think I started watching it at one point. I can't remember. I might have actually watched it.
Yeah.
But
But
trying to remember what.
it's been on my list. I need to watch them all. I'm going to make an effort to because
There are a few that I like that I think are probably some of the people's like least favorite ones. Like I liked Arrietty, which is about
little people.
little borrowers.
And I like Kiki's.
So that one's
Delivery
really
Service.
slow, and I liked Kiki's Delivery Service, but both of those are kind of a little bit slow, and they kind of just end, which I quite like about them, to be honest. Where they just sort of end, and they don't really have this huge arcing
Finale.
story or anything. It's just sort of like, oh yeah, there's a little glimpse of this world, and about this one person or this group of people, and it's just we're just going to show you like like an hour or two of this world, and and then it's just sort of going to end there, and it's not exactly like that, but I kind of enjoy it though, the fact that
me too.
it's like that. It makes it feel more light, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But oh, what else is there? To be honest, I think Spirited Away is probably one of my least favorites.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that.
I don't know.
I really loved it. It's just so strange.
Is it
so crazy.
Tales of Earth and Sea? Is that
Yeah, I need to see that. It's like the fantasy one.
Yeah, I really like that one as well. It's in my top. I would say When Marnie Is There is probably my favorite so far.
Oh, nice.
Just thinking about it,
Yeah. I think it's the only one that's actually like affected me, as like made me think about it for this long and reflect on it. Then I didn't have that with Spirited Away. I was just thinking how cool it was.
Yeah. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, interesting thing as well is that because it's Studio Ghibli film. Well, not obviously, but they set it in Japan.
Yeah.
But the book was set in Britain, as far as I know.
Oh wow.
But that's kind of why. This is my my conclusion of it anyway. Is why the two main characters. Is it Anna? Anna.
Yeah.
I was going to say Annie, but that's another orphan. Anna and Marnie look so much different to all the rest of the characters. So Anna has brown hair, whereas all the other characters have black.
And blue eyes.
Yeah. Does she have blue eyes?
Yeah.
I know that Marnie has blue eyes.
No, they both did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But she has blonde hair.
Mm.
And that really stands out when all the rest of the characters have, dark eyes and black hair. And that's because my conclusion of that anyway is that's because in the books they were described as that, and then the rest of the characters don't really get described too much.
As much of a description as the main two. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fun. That's funny.
And so it's sort of like they made it all fit in and look like it's part of Japan, except for these two main characters that just don't seem to fit in and seem like really weird, and
kind of makes it.
It kind of makes it more interesting actually, and also makes the conclusion. Oh no, I shouldn't say that.
Oh, we're getting into it. No, we won't talk about the conclusion. We're not talking about it.
We're giving away too much. More interesting, in my opinion.
But give it a watch, guys, and let us know what you think. Email us or continue to get in touch. Thanks, Amelia, for that that mail you sent in, and recommend us things you want us to check out as well, because it's quite cool. Just both of us watching something and chatting about it. Was there anything else?
No, I think that's...
We don't know what we're going to talk about next episode yet, but we'll figure something out.
See, this isn't the Studio Ghibli episode. This is the When Marnie Is There episode.
No, this is the Studio Ghibli episode, and we're going to have like the next Studio Ghibli episode. We're going to have a few. We're going to...
Yeah, but I think Studio Ghibli When Marnie Was There.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely name it that. Next episode, how about we do another mystery or some monsters? We'll get you to look into big cats in the South Island.
Yeah.
If you're up for it.
But then I have to look into it. I've
been
been lazy thus
do
far.
Nothing.
I've gotten away with doing nothing thus far. Okay.
There we go.
I'll do that.
Done.
Next episode.
Locked in. I'm travelling for work all next week, so you got a week off. There you go.
All right.
Done.
We're doing this bi-weekly though, aren't we?
Well, we say that, but this one hasn't been bi-weekly, so let's see what happens. But thanks for listening, guys, and we will catch you next time.